Hey, welcome back. For those of you that's here the first time, welcome. We are going to talk about sports today. No, I'm just kidding. We ain't going to do it like that, but we are going to talk about sports. We have the NFC and the AFC championship to talk about. We about to the Super Bowl. We down to the Final Four. Yep, we got Denver, New England, and we have Seattle versus LA. So without further ado, let's get into it. We have Denver versus New England. Denver's offense. 12th overall, 11th in passing. That's probably not going to count based off of Denver's current situation, but 12th in passing. Their defense is what the deal is. 4th overall, 2nd against the rush, 3rd against points, 2nd on 3rd down. That's key. The thing about Denver, they don't have Bo Nix. He broke his ankle the last game, unfortunately, so they are going to ride with Jarrett Stidham. This is going to be his 8th career game starting in the NFL. It's not too much to put on it. I ain't going to lie. It's just not. It's no way you could really hype it up. I know people believe that it's going to be a Nick Foles type of issue, but the thing with Nick Foles is he was a starter. And Nick Foles did have success as a starter. Ended up going back to the bench and becoming a starter, but he was trained to be a starter. That's not the case here. 8 career starts, I really don't know what to say. Putting stats out there doesn't do anything because there's only a handful of starts, 4 starts overall. But the thing is that you hope he just comes out and has one of those free games and he just goes out and slings it, because that's pretty much the only way they can do it. Denver is going to have to go by the defense. That's going to have to be the key. We're going to talk about the Patriots offense, who is 4th overall, 6th in passing, 2nd in the rush. That's what you need to focus on. You need to focus on their rushing game. They have 2 guys over there that's ready to go to work, Henderson and Stevenson. They've been on it, and Drake May, he likes to put in his work as far as the rushing game as well. This defense leads the league in sacks. They gone. Denver, 68 sacks on the year. They can get you from blitz, and they can get you with the 4. The thing is, with Drake May, you really don't want to blitz that guy. He's able to handle it, and he knows how to pick defenses apart. He's been doing it all year. Hence the reason he is probably going to be the MVP or MVP finalist. But Denver defense is just going to have to find a way to create some turnovers. You're going to have to slow down Diggs, Hunter in the passing game, and you're just going to have to hope for the best. I hate to laugh, but what do you do when your starting quarterback, the one that's got you to this record, you're the number 1 seed in the AFC, and then he breaks his ankle, and you got to put this guy in on a week's notice with little to no starting history in the NFL. I know Sean Payton says he knows the offense. They all say that. Of course he's supposed to know the offense. But does that make you feel comfortable putting him in this situation? This is for the Super Bowl. This is not a game. This is not a game during the week, during the regular season. This is for your right to go to the Super Bowl. Do you feel comfortable putting him out there? With that defense, you can probably hold him. But we're going to have to lean heavy on that rushing game. And Denver is not a dominant rushing team. They are pretty much Bo Nix and go. He makes a lot of things go in that offense. And without Bo Nix, it's kind of like the Josh Allen effect. You don't know where this offense is going to go. I'm not going to lie. I think that Denver defense is going to give it all they have. They're going to make sure that they can limit this team from scoring as much as they can. But in the end, a fully staffed Patriots team should come out with this victory. They should come out with this victory. Now, I'm giving it to you, Patriots. I bet against you 2 weeks in a row. I'm putting it on you this time. I'm giving you the victory. So don't make me look like a fool, because 2 weeks you have proven me wrong. So I'm not going to bet against you anymore right now. But I want you to just do what you're supposed to do. Not saying that Jarrett Stidham is a bum. This should be an easy game, but even with Bo Nix here, this on paper looks like it could work in your favor because you have the better offense. Your defense is not as good, but you do have that offense that can handle a defense like the Broncos. A lot of sacks over there, they go to work. Them guys will come and get you. But the point is that Drake May is built to handle the pressure because he is one of the better quarterbacks against the blitz, which is why you probably shouldn't blitz him in a situation. You should probably just rush 4. I'm not a coach. I'm just putting it out there. So we're gonna see. Patriots, don't make me look bad now. I'm trying to get above even. I'm about 5-5 right now. Can you help your boy out? I'm at 500. That's not looking good on the statistics. I'm trying to get it to the 60 percentile. I'm trying to raise my grade. So help me out here. I'm going with New England on this. Not by default. I just think New England does, even though they had an easier record, Denver hasn't had the hardest one either. I think Drake May has proven that he is built for this, and the challenges he has had against this Texan defense, against this Charger defense, I think this is going to make him more equipped to handle a Denver Broncos defense. Drake May, you getting your work in. I ain't going to lie, boy. You are proving that you are a finalist for the MVP already, but you should probably win it because if you can handle this defense, this is 3 top defenses in a row that you're playing. And if you go to the Super Bowl, you're probably going to have another one. But we'll talk more about those 2 teams in a minute. But yeah, New England, this should be on you. This should be in your hands. Drake May, you got to get the ball in Diggs' hands, got to get him in tune. Get him and Hunter going in the passing game. Then you got to get it to Stevenson and Henderson. Let them do what they do. And then you can pick and choose. I think McDaniels, this guy, he's been calling plays. He's a mastermind on the offensive side. So he's built for these situations. He's won so many Super Bowls in New England. This is nothing new to him. Sean Payton, Super Bowl coach as well. I do believe he's going to have a game plan. He's not going to just sit back and run the ball. We're going to have to get it to Franklin. You have to get it to these guys early and often. I do see him throwing the ball, coming out, trying to throw New England's defense off. But if he doesn't feel comfortable in that, I don't know where you go from there. You don't have the dominant running game that you need for this type of situation. This would be great to have that, but you don't. Mims maybe on some trick plays, some short yardage plays. Let him do some catch and run after. See what works. It worked in the last game. Maybe you try to go back to him again. But I'm not sure. I'm not going to pick against New England. I've learned my lesson. I'm going to give this one to New England. I think you're on your way to a Super Bowl. Yeah, Super Bowl. Yep. I think y'all on your way. I know you wanted a fully staffed Denver Broncos because people going to say you got this off technicality, but you just might be the better team. You have the chance to prove that regardless. We'll see. So I'm going with New England for that one. Oh, boy. Seattle and Los Angeles. We got to talk about this one. You guys have been back and forth. Low scoring game in the first one. The Rams won. Should have won the second game. You was up 30-14 and you let them come back and you lost 38-37 in overtime. And that's where we are with you 2 teams. Seattle's offense is 7th overall, 3rd in points. Defense, number 1 right now, especially on first down. 1st against the points, 3rd against the rushing. Rams offense we know is number 1 overall, number 1 in passing, 7 in rushing. The defense is the problem. 16 overall, 19 in passing, 12 against the run, 10 against the points. So, injury report time. Zach Claire-Bennett, he is out with a torn ACL. Velus Jones has been activated to the active roster. He will back up Kenneth Walker the way Kenneth Walker ran against the 49ers. I don't think he's going to want much rest. He looks like he's ready to go the whole game, every play. So, him, got to make sure that Sam Darnold, I know he's battling an oblique injury. He didn't have to do much work. They pretty much handled that game early against the 49ers, but this is going to be a much tougher task, especially with the Rams not having to play in negative degree weather. And with that being said, I think that game against the Bears, that built a lot of strength in them because people was expecting them to fold in the cold weather, and they did not. They stayed in there. They handled business. They made enough plays. The one thing about this Ram defense, I think it's better than it is statistically. You have to get forefront. You have Turner. You have Fisk. You have Verse. You have Young. You have guys that can go get the pressure on the quarterback. And Sam Darnold is not as athletic as Caleb, so you don't have to worry about him hitting the edge. That was a problem. But Sam Darnold being contained in their pocket, I think you got a better chance to attack him than you do Caleb, because Sam Darnold, he's not going to take off and run for 25 yards. And another thing with the Rams, you're going to have to finish these sacks. You left a lot of sacks on the table, albeit against the more athletic quarterback, but you're going to have to finish these sacks. You have to put Darnold down. You got to rattle him early. The thing about Sam Darnold is, even when he doesn't have his best game, this team is so put together, they can still win. He can have 2-3 interceptions, and his team can still win by 15 points. That's a scary issue to deal with. Jackson Smith Enigma, that's where he's going. He's gonna go to him early and often. Shaheed, he's gonna go to him early and often, and they're gonna get Walker going. So you already know you're gonna have to come in there. You got to make it a shootout. Rams, you got to feed Nakul. You got to feed Adams early. You got to try to get out in the lead, and you're gonna have to make them play catch up. You're gonna have to basically. I'm not gonna say your defense is gonna let you down, but you're gonna have to basically play. You're gonna have to make the Seattle Seahawks play catch up, which is something they're not used to doing a lot because they're usually in the lead in most of their games. But that's what you're gonna have to do. Put that pressure on them. Seattle, on the other hand, you're gonna have to make sure that defense is getting to Stafford early. Yeah, he looks rattled, but he looked rattled last week, but that could just be the bad weather. You never know with negative degree weather. You never know what it really is. If it's the player or if it's just the defense, you're just not sure. Could be a combination of both, but they're going to be in Seattle. It's going to be 40 degrees. That's more decent for you to see where you're at. I know Murphy, I know those guys are going to be ready. Lawrence, all of them, y'all going to be ready to kill Stafford, but you're going to have to make sure that you are getting to him early, throwing him off his game, making him go to the running game, because you guys are one of the better run defenders in the league. And Williams, you got your work cut out for you. Pretty solid game against the Bears, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. But this is a whole nother defense now. So I'm not saying you can't do it, but you have to put in a little bit more work with these guys, because this defense ain't about their games. Walker, Seattle, the Rams, you can't let Walker kill you. He will. He's looking to build off of that last game. He tore the 49ers apart with ease. I don't think he really needs a backup at this point, but you got to have somebody just in case, right? I think Velus Jones, you're probably going to get a few handoffs, and it's going to be Walker or bust. I think they'll ride him to the Super Bowl if they can, and I think that's probably going to be the game plan. Beat this defense down early. They're not that good against the rush, the middle of the pack, and see where they go from here. But all of that I said, I do believe that the Rams built some endurance, and I think Rams had a better quarterback, the better offensive weapons. One thing about Seattle, the defense is better, but I do think Stafford is more experienced and he can handle the situation. I think Seattle is a well-rounded team. They don't need Sam Darnold to win, but I just see something in this Rams team, especially after that game against the Bears. I think that builds some endurance. Those type of wins make you a different type of team, and I think they're going to go into Seattle looking to redeem themselves from that game they lost against the playoffs, because they did have Seattle on the ropes, and Seattle being Seattle came back, but I don't think they're going to let that happen again. Prove me wrong, Rams. Don't blow another 16-point lead if you get it. But I think the Rams are going to come out early. They're going to be decisive. They're going to get Nakua and Adams in early. The offense is going to be clicking, and they're going to make the Rams they're going to make Seattle constantly score points. And we're going to see, because this might be the biggest challenge Seattle has had all year. I think they're up for it, but I do think the Rams are going to win this game. So Rams, look, don't let me down now. because I didn't pick you 2 weeks in a row and you didn't did right by me. So I picked you 2 weeks. You done right by me. I'm not betting against New England again. I don't want to take no more L's. So we going with the Rams. I know Seattle. Don't get on me. I do believe y'all can do it. I wouldn't be shocked, but I got to pick somebody, so I'm going to go with the Rams. I think they got something going on. So we're going to see the Rams and the Patriots if I'm calling it. But I'm not. It's up to them. They got to go play. But, yeah, I'm going to go Rams on this one. I'm going to go New England. So we will get a rematch of the 2019, for those of you who didn't know. 2019 Rams and New England played in the Super Bowl. There is no Thomas Brady. There is no Jared Goff. But I think those are the two teams that is going to make it. So what did we learn? We learned that Denver can probably have a chance even though their quarterback is not starting. And that you never know when your number is called. So even though you only had 7 starts in your whole career, you need to be ready because you never know. But when a team is good against the blitz and they just got an MVP caliber player, they probably might win. Rams and Seattle, they used to each other, of course, but that doesn't mean that Seattle has the advantage. Even in Seattle, I think the Rams do have the better quarterback, and I think it will show because they're more experienced. They've been here before, so we'll see. But that's all I got for you guys today. I will catch you on the next video to make sure that I am right. Y'all take it easy.